What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Kail Lowry has filed a lawsuit against Briana Dejesus for defamation. And of course, once news broke, Briana's mother and sister, they were not happy about it, and they had a few things that they wanted to say. Really quick, I'm going to put this out there that this video is for entertaining purposes only. Do not take everything that I say as facts. Do your own research to draw your own conclusion. This video is not meant to bully, harass, or defame anyone. Do not send hate to anyone mentioned in this video. So let's continue. The news was broke by E about this lawsuit. They actually broke the news today. Kail is claiming that Bri gave an interview to this media outlet called Celebuzz. This interview was done on June 9th. And in this interview, Briana stated that Kail had physically beat Chris Lopez, the father of her two children, Lux and Creed. And Briana also stated that Kail had broke into and entered the home of Chris's mother. Just a couple of weeks ago, a Teen Mom 2 episode aired, and Kail was notably absent from that episode, and people started asking questions. This is literally the first episode that Kail has been absent from since like the first season of 16 and Pregnant. So people were asking, where's Kail? Did Kail get fired? Why wasn't she there? And Briana wasted no time jumping on social media to make these claims that Kail was not in the episode because she refused to film her real life. She made claims stating that Kail was fake, that Kail had these DV situations going on and these breaking and entering situations going on, and she refused to film that. Instead, all Kail wants to film about, according to Briana, is wall colors, because she's decorating her new home. She's planning the interior and everything. She's building a new home. So that's what Kail has been focused on. Her children navigating school by doing this virtual learning, their sports being canceled and how they're dealing with that. And then she's focused on them building their home and her son taking part in that, Isaac. So Kail has not mentioned anything about an arrest or breaking and entering in the show, right? So Briana is like, listen, these things were happening. Producers wanted to film it. Kail refused. So that's why they didn't film her one episode, because she refuses to be authentic. She's fake. She only wants to film about blah, 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 and not her real life, right? So that's basically what Briana said in the interview as well. Not only did she say it on Instagram, but to us, to everyone that would watch, but she also said it in this interview with Celebuzz. Now, Kail is saying that Briana said that to purposely cause harm to her and her brand. Now, Kail does have several businesses. She has 2 podcasts. She has her hair care line, Pothead Hair Care. So she does have a brand. And putting rumors out here like that or saying things like that could absolutely damage her brand. Are people going to want to buy, their hair care products from someone that has beat on their baby daddy or that's breaking and entering? Maybe not. And she may very well could lose business due to this. So Kail is not going to take this laying down. When this interview came out and after Briana went on the little rant on Instagram and on Twitter where she was saying all these things, Kail went straight to her lawyer's office and she filed a lawsuit. Kail is suing Briana for defamation. Now, after news of the lawsuit broke, Briana's mom, Roxanne, and her sister, Brittany, they had a few things to say. So first off, let me tell you, Briana posted on Twitter, y'all can come for me all y'all want. This is just my personal opinion and I'm entitled to my freedom of speech. But I think Kail Lowry exudes dry energy. Now, I do want to say I'm entitled to my freedom of speech. She states that here, but I want to remind everyone that with freedom of speech comes consequences. So yes, we have freedom of speech, but that is not without consequence. If we defame someone, we absolutely can be held responsible and we can find ourselves in a lawsuit. So you better be careful, Brittany, or you might just be added to it. You better be careful, because I don't think Kail is playing. I'm not saying that Kail's going to win this lawsuit. I don't know. I feel like defamation is a very hard case to win. Like, it's hard to prove it. It's hard to prove that it's malicious. And when you're a celebrity, people are already talking about you. So I think it's going to be hard for her if she does win. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like Kail Lowry is playing, and she may very well throw Brittany in that lawsuit as well. Now, Roxy simply stated that this was for a storyline. Roxy thinks that Kail is doing this just so she will have an interesting storyline for the show. I guess maybe they're filming right now for the next season. That's what it sounds like to me. So let's carry on. Goodness gracious. Kail stated in the court documents that what Briana said was untrue and that Briana said it intentionally to cause her harm and harm to her brand. Kail is also stating that Briana is using this to gain additional media attention for herself. So basically, Kail's like, she's using me for clout. Lord, here we go. Briana did the interview to explain why she thought Kail was missing from the Teen Mom episode. I mean, we know this. She went all over Instagram and Twitter. She was doing live videos about it. I covered it. I made a whole video like detailing everything that was going on because there was a lot of moving parts to it. The episode airs. Kail's not there. People's wondering, where's Kail? Where's Kail? Where's Kail? And immediately Briana tries to say that she had Kail kicked off the show, like kicked off that episode. It wasn't the show, but the way that she worded it absolutely did make people think that Briana had Kail kicked off the show. That's the way that Kail had, that's the way that Briana had worded one of her tweets. So people were like, what? You had Kail fired from the show? How did you do that? And then she was like, no, she wasn't fired. We just had her kicked off this one episode because we had a lot of content and Kail is being fake. She's not being authentic. She's not wanting to film what's really going on in her real life. She brings up the DV. She brings up the breaking and entering. So everything that she said in these videos, she also said in this interview. And Kail is saying that's simply not true. And Kail is stating those things just simply did not happen. That she did not get physical with Chris and she never broke into his mother's house. Now, I do believe that Briana used the word allegedly. Let me find the quote. Okay, right here, Briana says, like Kail is sitting on the show legitimately filming about a wallpaper color choice when she could be filming about a domestic abuse situation with Chris that I was told she was trying to hide. Okay, there she didn't say allegedly, so that might could get her in a little bit of trouble. Then she goes on to say, this was back when Lux's hair was cut and she was allegedly arrested after allegedly getting into a physical altercation with Chris. So the physical altercation situation, she does say allegedly there, not once but twice, so that may save her bum. But the other part, she doesn't say allegedly. So I'm not sure, you guys. I'm going to link my video that I made about it where it gives a whole timeline of what went on. I'll put that up here for anyone that wants to watch that later. It really breaks down the timeline of events of their last situation, of their last argument, of their last beef, I guess you could say, and ultimately what led to this lawsuit. Okay. Bree told her followers during the Instagram live session, Kail did not want to film about the situation with the domestic violence, about her getting arrested, about her breaking and entering into Chris's mom's house. She doesn't want to film about her hitting Chris because Chris cut her son's hair. She doesn't want to film about any of that. So it's not my fault that she got cut from the episode. I'm just stating facts. Woo! Hold up. Right here, she says, I'm stating facts. So that's not allegedly. However, Kail was arrested for getting physical with Chris back in, I think it was October. So a situation did happen and there is an arrest. That does not mean she's guilty though. So maybe she was arrested, but she's not guilty, and maybe, I don't know. Just use your own, figure it out on your own, because like I'm saying, you can be arrested for something and not be guilty. So maybe that's the case here. So maybe that's why Kail feels like, well, I can sue her. Was I arrested for it? Yes. But was I found guilty? No. So that means I didn't do it, right? I don't know. In the lawsuit court documents, Kail and her legal team deny Briana's claims of Kail breaking and entering and hitting Chris. Lowry did not break into and enter the home of Mr. Lopez's mother, nor did Miss Lowry beat Mr. Lopez. That is a quote from her attorney. Kail is requesting that Briana pay her attorney fees, as well as compensate Kail for any damages that she has caused to her brand. Also, Kail is requesting a trial by jury. So, Kail's rep further explained the lawsuit in a statement to E. stating that Kail is disheartened by the recent untrue statements made by her fellow castmate, Briana Dejesus, concerning Kail's absence from a recent episode and involvement in crimes that she never committed. Kail takes these statements very seriously. After necessary self-reflection, Kail has decided to handle the situation with Miss Dejesus by exercising her legal right to protect herself and her brand in court. So yeah, Briana hasn't commented yet, but her sister and her mom did. Her mom thinks that this is all for a storyline. And Brittany, she made a comment about her, my freedom of speech. Kail exudes dry energy. And she said something else. What else did she say? Oh, yeah. She also suggested that Kail's reasoning for the lawsuit is race-related, stating a white woman calling for legal help against a person of color. Typical Karen, S-H-I-T. Dry energy. I'm finna go smoke my weed and chill the F out before she go ahead and sue my butt for speaking my mind. Now, I think there's absolutely a problem with racism. I think there's a problem with racism, but one thing that I do not like, and this is just me speaking my opinion, and there may be some people that disagree with me here, but I don't think this has anything to do with race. Briana literally went on this spree where she was on her Instagram account, her Twitter account, and she went to media outlets where she said these things that Kail is claiming is not true. I don't think it has anything to do with race. But when someone turns something, when someone claims, oh, this is because of race, I think it really takes away from the problem. We can't blame everything on, we can't say everything is race related when it's not always race related, because there are things that are actually race related. So I feel like it waters down the real problem that we have here when every time someone wants to say, oh, that's race related. I just don't agree with that. And I feel like this is not the first time that Brittany and Briana have tried to say that Kail is racist over something so ridiculous that has absolutely nothing to do with race, in my opinion. So I just feel like she's probably crossing the line here by saying that. Say all you want, I don't agree with it, that she exudes whatever, but typical Karen crap, this is race related. I'm not buying into that. Kail did not directly address the lawsuit, but she did make a post on her Instagram stories after the news of the lawsuit broke, and she said, put your money where your mouth is. And then Briana seemed to respond to Kail's post by posting a video of a girl holding a wad of cash, and she captioned the video, strictly business. We know that Kail and Briana's battle has played out for years over social media and on the show. We remember that fight that they had at the reunion where Kail tried to have a discussion with Briana before the reunion actually started in like a conference room, and Briana wanted nothing to do with it. But then when the reunion started filming and Kail was out there and Briana got called to come out, Briana come in hot, just yelling and screaming, and then Brittany got involved, yanking Kail's hair from behind, and it was a whole ordeal. So these two having drama, it goes way back. This is not the first situation or episode, and I doubt it's going to be the last, especially now with this lawsuit. I will be keeping up with you guys. If anything else becomes available, I'll let you guys know. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you guys feel like this lawsuit is warranted? Do you guys feel like Briana should not be running her mouth about Kail when she don't know facts? Or do you feel like Kail's a celebrity, so she has opened herself up to people speculating about her life and her arrest? There's an arrest there, so they can speculate and they can speak on it. I want to know whose side are you on. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.